What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Information Man. This Tory Lanez situation, Tory Lanez is, it's incredible how things have changed around. And I want to make some corrections too from my last video about this when I talked about why I believed, in my opinion, due to my experience, why he was staffed 14 times in the prison environment. Let me just say this right now, because I said something in the last video. I have to put blame on Megan Thee Stallion. She is the common denominator, obviously, to why Tory Lanez is in this situation, because evidence has come out that is now looking like she lied and a lot of games were played. And this man has been in prison for some time and he has been staffed 14 times. I want to lay something out because his father was on News Nation and he broke the news that Tory Lanez is going to be moved to another institution. And I said this in my other video, they usually put you in S-Seg, but another twist to it is that they'll put you in an S-Seg situation, but they'll also move you to another institution. That's very well. And I'm gonna let you know exactly the institution that he's going to, the setup there in terms of the security and level of the prison and what have you. But I'm going to say again, he should have never been moved from Corcoran in the first place, which was a medium security prison, and he didn't have any of his issues. His father also said, and you're going to hear when I play the video, his father also said that he was sort of a model inmate in the prison that he was in. He never had any trouble. He even said that the guards or the correctional officers at the institution that he was at, the California Correctional Institute, said that he wasn't getting into any kind of trouble. He wasn't a problem inmate or anything like that. I know people have thrown out there that he ran his mouth off, and that's why this guy did what he did to him. The father in this interview says none of that is true, that he didn't create any type of hostility between him and other inmates. But that still doesn't mean that he still can't be targeted because he's high profile. It still doesn't mean that one of these guys cannot get their hands on him if they have a desire to harm him. Another thing I want to make a correction on, when I talked about the California Correctional Institute, yes, it's a maximum security prison, but it also has various different levels. They have level 2, they got level 3, level 4. So because they have 4 levels of facilities, because there's different levels, you may be on a yard, which is an all level 4 yard or all level 3 yard, what have you. They call it a classification. When you come into prison, they'll classify you based on a lot of scenarios. The crime that you did, maybe your gang affiliation. I also said this. I know people were saying, oh, he wasn't in G-Pop. Yes, Tory Lanez at some point in time did ask to be in G-Pop. They didn't have him in G-Pop in the California Correctional Institute. He was in what you would call an S&Y yard, which is sensitive needs yard. Now, I said in my last video that they sort of phased that out. Well, at different institutions, they have phased it out. They don't really want to classify or separate inmates by race because California has come under scrutiny about the segregation based on race and the whole gang situation within their institutions. But there are institutions where there are sensitive need yards or guys who can't be on G-Pop yards. That is true, but still, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Tory Lanez was on a level 2 yard, level 1, level 3, or a sensitive needs yard. You can still have someone on those yards that can do serious harm to you. And the inmate that we talked about before, who I said, I'm gonna make another correction here about that inmate before getting to this video. I said he committed a murder, which is a legal term. He got second-degree murder when it came to taking the life of an underage girl that he was in a relationship with. Whatever that relationship was, that's weird, okay? But they gave him first degree for attempted murder. Those were the charges: murdering an underage youth, and then also he got second degree for attempted murder. Those are the charges of the guy who put hands on Tory Lanez and stabbed him 14 times. But let's get to it right now. This is the video you've been looking for. The father breaks it down. Let's let the father break down what's going on. Here you go, everybody.
Standing is It's gotten bad enough for him on the inside after this stabbing that it is a miracle that he survived, that now he's being moved as we speak. Is that true, sir? And what does that mean to you?
Yes, that is correct. It's one of the things we've been concerned about, but he's being moved because it's a part of the prison's protocol. That when a situation like this happens, I think they believe it's better for him to be in another facility, and so he is being moved as we speak. One of the things, of course, we're concerned about is because my son is a high-profile person, and when things like this happen, there's always some kind of weird news going out trying to spin it to be something else. You know, maybe he went crazy in the prison and they moved him. You know, there's a lot of stuff that happens, but the truth being that he is being moved right now as we speak, and we have concerns because, number one, he has just been discharged not many days ago from the hospital, and he was discharged with 14 stab wounds, you know, an incident that collapsed his lungs that, you know, again, thankfully, he is recovering, he's doing well, but now he has to take a 3-hour ride. And he is the victim in this situation. Those are the things that really concern me. He is the victim. He never provoked this incident in prison. And anybody that knows him, in fact, I've met many people going there to visit him, my wife and I, that will tell you that he is someone who is liked. He's not someone who's a troublemaker. I was with the COs, the correctional officers, in the hospital where he was taken after this incident, and the COs spoke to me. They said when they heard on the intercom that they had to transport somebody to the hospital, it was him. The guy looked at me and said, why him, of all people? Because he doesn't do anything like that, you know, to warrant these kinds of things.
Well, listen, Mr. Peterson, we're going to stay on it. Not out of any deference to your son. I'm new to this story, but there's something about it that doesn't smell right. And we're going to stay on it until we figure out what this is really about and that justice is served here. And I hope he is safe, no matter which way it comes out. And we're a call away if we can help you with any concerns you have, okay?
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
So as you can see, the father breaks it down. He says his son is being moved. You can hear Cuomo saying, hey, ever since Tory Lanez was attacked, he still has not been safe in that institution, and he's come under scrutiny in that institution. So as the father says, they're moving Tory Lanez out of the California Correctional Institute, which has maximum security and various other levels. Now let me let you know where he's going. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Tory Lanez is being moved to California Men's Colony. We call it CMC in California in the system, right? This is a minimum security prison, just like the one he was in at Kern Valley. They should have never moved him from Kern Valley in the first place, but they put him back in a medium security prison. At this medium security prison, they've got level 1, level 2, level 3 type inmates, okay? It's a different type of environment, a different type of institution. They also have mental health programs there that I know very well, such as EOP programs, enhanced outpatient programs. When guys have psychiatric issues, they've got these sorts of programs to help guys when they are in mental health issues and they need help. Now, let me give you more details about the California Men's Colony, CMC, which is located in San Obispo, St. Louis. Let me say this correctly. St. Louis Obispo, California, which is basically Central California, where we have a lot of wine country, a lot of farms and what have you. Let me give you a little breakdown of this prison in more detail. Here we go. California Men's Colony, CMC, has inmate classification, as I said before, of a level 1, a level 2, level 3, okay? Now, they have housing in the Western facility, while level 3 is in the East facility, okay? In the Western facility, which includes level 1 and level 2 housing, medium and minimum security inmates in a dormitory setting The East facility in this prison is a level 3 facility and has individual cells and fencing perimeters, right? But in these fencing perimeters, you have armed coverage, okay? You have, it's a complex with individual cells, fencings, and perimeters with armed coverage, okay? You have, once again, minimum security, inmates in dormitory settings, and what have you. This is what California Medical Facility, or this is what CMC, California Medical Facility, is another facility that houses inmates in California, but we're talking about CMC. I want to make sure I don't make a mistake there. We're talking about, again, CMC, California what? Men's Colony. So I want to make sure I emphasize that. That's where they moved Tory Lanez. I believe that was a good position, a good place to put him. But because he is high priority inmate because of his celebrity status, even when he's at CMC, they're probably going to have to put him on some type of protective unit. Keep him, I would say, keep him in SEG. Maybe he should not have no contact with other inmates whatsoever. And now what's going on is that they are trying to petition Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. And it looks like there's a good, strong chance that Tory Lanez is going to get out of prison on a pardon because Miss Lunar, who is a politician from Florida, she is the one that has said that there's new evidence about this case that's resurfaced, and they believe strongly that the way the case was handled the first time was wrong, the way evidence was handled, the way evidence was not brought into reality, the way certain witnesses didn't get a chance to tell their testimony, the way things happened, that this whole situation was poorly executed. And this man, Tory Lanez, should have never been in prison in the first place to get stabbed based on alleged lies by Megan Thee Stallion. And then we have Casey coming out of the woodwork saying that there's evidence that Casey, who said that Megan Thee Stallion threw her under the bus, that there's evidence that maybe she was the one that shot this gun allegedly at Megan Thee Stallion's feet as Tory Lanez was trying to knock the weapon out of her hand. That's what it appears it may be. They're looking at the evidence. I think that Gavin Newsom is going to give him a pardon. They're going to have to keep him safe. I'm pretty sure the governor's office has told prison officials this man cannot be in any mainstream of the prison, near any of these other inmates, because it's a hot button case right now. Once again, I'm going to say this again, because I said some things in the first video. It doesn't really matter what level he's in. If someone wants to get to him because they can get access to him, boom. The guy that stabbed him 14 times had a history of doing this to people. So therefore, anybody could be a mark in prison if you got a guy that's a nut that wants to harm you, and he's also gang related. And these Mexican gang members, they don't care for black people, black inmates. They'll harm you if that's how they feel about it, okay? So let's just keep that in mind as people are saying, hey, this is Rock Nation and Jay-Z. And we know that the father doesn't care for Jay-Z. He blames Rock Nation for what happened to her son because they're the ones that was representing Megan Thee Stallion. Totally get it. Totally get it, everybody. This whole situation is a damn shame. But I think this is my argument right here. I think if Tory Lanez gets a pardon from Governor Newsom, they should immediately file a civil suit against Megan Thee Stallion, as well as her friend Cassie Harris, hold them both accountable, and make them pay the price for what has happened to Tory Lanez. I bet you the father's got that in the mind and the thinking already. This has to be the case. Another thing to men out there, this should be another reminder that you have to beware of the company that you keep and the type of women that you are hanging out with and engaging with. Now, I'm going to say this for the ladies out there that watch this video. I'm not saying that Megan Thee Stallion and Cassie Harris represent all women or all black women or just women in general, because certainly not all women are loose. Not all women would carry on like this. I'm talking about the Megan Thee Stallion types. or women like them that would carry on in this way with this man, okay, and then lie on him and put him in a situation where he gets arrested, where they're chumping up the evidence against him because either Rock Nation allegedly or someone allegedly doesn't want to see Megan Thee Stallion go downhill because she's the big popular artist right now, right? I don't know. There's a lot going on here, and you got to keep in mind the music business has been run by the mob. It's been run by organized crime, cartels for a very long time. Drug money's been laundered through the music business, allegedly. And I'm going to talk about that in my next soon to come video about P. Diddy and his situation and how P. Diddy is not the only one that should be on trial right now. There's other people who contribute to the things that he was doing. But we're going to get to that video very soon. So everybody, if you appreciate this video, share this video on all your social media, hit the bell notification, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Oh, before you go, everybody, before we end this video, this dawned on me. Let me show you the other video, and y'all take care.
It wasn't him. And she joins us now. Representative APL, it's good to have you.
Thanks, Chris. Happy to be back on. And thanks for taking a look at this case.
No, listen, you tell me to take a look at it, I'll look at it. But why did you look at it? I mean, this isn't your jurisdiction. I don't know you to have any connection to any of these people.
Yeah, so as you know, we are on oversight and accountability. And so this case was actually initially flagged for me by Amber Rose. And the reason why I took particular interest in it is because of the fact that they actually had evidence that they presented to me in my office that actually disproved the conviction. So as you stated earlier, that 0.01% of DNA, they actually found 4 people's DNA on that firearm, none of which was Tory's. Not to mention there was 0 fingerprints on the actual magazine. And also too, as you said, 0.01% chance. I mean, that evidence in itself should pretty much speak for itself. Also, there's been ring footage that's been obtained that actually disproves the whole dance, Megan. And so what we're seeing is really there was a case of he said, she said. The evidence wasn't actually respected and properly adhered to actually in the trial. And then they also were doing something that I would find pretty wild and egregious. They're actually submitting his lyrics for rap as evidence to the crime. So look, first and foremost, you have to have a free and fair society. That means we need to respect and uphold the justice system. So I actually reached out today to Gavin Newsom's office, and we are requesting an emergency meeting. We're also working with other Democrats, specifically to the California delegation. But I think that this is something that's pretty egregious, that the way that this was handled, the way that it was. I think that it was largely driven by headlines. And aside from the people involved and the parties involved, obviously I take domestic violence, I take this very seriously, Chris, but I also take very seriously the fact that I do believe, based on the evidence that I've seen, that Tory's innocent. And I think that it sets a really bad message when you have someone of his stature, and also to someone that is as influential as he is, it's being wrongfully incarcerated. And that's exactly why we wanted to use our megaphone for a good reason and help get him his pardon, which I think he'll get.
Information is